When you're being critical of things, here are 4 stylish words you could use: acrimony, obfuscate, defenestrate, and shambolic. Know their meanings, origins, how to use them in sentences, quotes containing them, and more. But first, do subscribe to The English Nut on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X. Thank you. Acrimony is not your average disagreement. It's the kind of bitterness that leaves a sting. This word captures the sharpness of emotion, especially in speech or behavior. Imagine a feud simmering to a boil and you've got acrimony on the menu. Contrary to popular belief, lawyers don't always fuel acrimony during divorce proceedings. The debate quickly descended into acrimony, with each side refusing to listen to the other. Years of unresolved issues erupted in acrimony during the family dinner. Acrimony finds its roots in Latin from acer, meaning sharp or biting, which became a part of the word acrimonia that was used to describe something harsh or severe. Over time, this bitter essence of the word made its way into the English lexicon to describe anger, ill feeling, and the resulting exchange of harsh words. In politics, acrimony often bubbles to the surface during debates. The media loves to highlight the sharp exchanges between opposing sides, knowing that the sharper the tongue, the more viral the moment. Religious controversies are always productive of more acrimony and irreconcilable hatreds than those which spring from any other cause. George Washington, the first president of the United States, said this in the 18th century. But we can see this happening all around us even today. The word was suggested by Shoram Kundu. Obfuscate may sound like a grand, sophisticated word, but its purpose is far from noble. To obfuscate is to deliberately make something unclear, to muddy the waters so that clarity is lost. It's the art of confusion. The lawyer's lengthy explanation seemed designed to obfuscate the true meaning of the contract. The politician's speech only served to obfuscate the real issues at hand. Rather than providing a straightforward answer, she obfuscated with complex jargon. Obfuscate comes from the Latin obfuscare, meaning to darken or to obscure. It shares its roots with fuscus, meaning dark. So in its essence, to obfuscate is to throw a shadow over clarity. In corporate settings, obfuscation often becomes a tool of survival. Layers of bureaucratic language are used to obscure mistakes or mislead without outright lying. You may recognize this tactic from long-winded emails or obscure policies. One could say that obfuscation is the deliberate muddying of the water in which truth swims. American molecular biologist Harvey Bialy said, "If you're defending a lie, you can only defend it with obfuscations and other lies. You can't defend a lie with the truth." It's ironic that Bialy said this because he was an AIDS denialist, meaning that he insisted that HIV did not cause AIDS. Given that there is conclusive evidence to the contrary, his claim could only be defended by obfuscation. The word was suggested by Rachna Jangir. To defenestrate is to throw someone or something out of a window. While it might sound comical, this word carries a rather violent history, most famously tied to political upheaval. It's an oddly specific term that has developed a quirky charm. The rebellious council members threatened to defenestrate their opponents, literally and figuratively. It was the view of the majority that the minister should be defenestrated before the coming election. In a fit of rage, he defenestrated the alarm clock that had woken him up too early. Defenestrate stems from the Latin word for window, fenestra. The word dates back to the infamous defenestration of Prague in 1618, where two Catholic officials and their secretary were quite literally tossed out of the window by radical Protestants. This marked the start of the 30 Years' War. It's worth noting that the defenestrated Catholics survived the fall from a height of 10 meters due to landing in a pile of, wait for it, horse manure. The word defenestrate was popularized in India by none other than Shashi Tharoor. Defenestrate everything that spawns negativity in your life, dispel drama, and live in harmony. This piece of sage advice comes from Gargi Jha. The word was suggested by Minku Mukherjee. Shambolic perfectly encapsulates that feeling when things are falling apart, utterly chaotic and disorganized beyond repair. It's the polite way to say something is a complete mess. The project was so shambolic that no one knew what task to tackle first. His apartment was in a shambolic state, with clothes and books scattered everywhere. The shambolic planning of the event left guests confused and frustrated. Shambolic hails from British slang, deriving from shambles, which means a state of disorder, a mess. Shambolic is possibly a blend word combining shambles with symbolic. Curiously, the word shamble in the singular originally meant a stool or a table on which meat was displayed for sale at a slaughterhouse. Today, of course, it is purely an interesting sounding adjective for chaotic situations. The word has gained prominence in political commentary, often used to describe disastrously managed situations, whether it's the handling of a crisis or a mismanaged government department. Shambolic fits the bill perfectly. With Trump, the line between the shambolic and sinister is often blurred. Gail Collins and Bret Stephens wrote this in an article in the New York Times. The word was suggested by Begoma Academy Maths Club. Acrimony, obfuscate, defenestrate, and shambolic, a dark yet colorful set of words. From bitter feuds to chaotic disasters, these words remind us of the human capacity for messiness, both in language and in life. Let's hope we avoid acrimony in our discussions. Don't obfuscate our true intentions or defenestrate things or people unless it's absolutely required. And keep our lives from becoming shambolic, at least most of the time. We all have moments of confusion, anger, and disorder, but thankfully there's always a word to make sense of it all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm the English Nut. Bye for now.